Before week 5 kicks off, you want to make sure these guys aren't sitting out there on your trade block or with a vulnerable owner that says, I got to make a move. JSN's played great this year, but he's grossly undervalued still. Pickens coming off a huge game. I know you're saying, well, he can't be available, Smitty, but the one thing about this channel, the one thing about what I do is I get thousands and thousands of questions, sometimes a day. And so I get a read on what people are feeling and the vibe people have. And just because somebody did well and you think, oh, nobody's trading him on my league, how do you know that? I know because I get 1,000 questions a day, practically more than that. And I feel what people are panicking about. I feel the overreaction. I feel the let me break up with the player before they break up with me vibe. And for some reason, people are so worried about somebody that plays well for them. And they start thinking anxiously about the future. What about when CeeDee Lamb comes back? What happens now that defense are going to focus on shutting down Pickens? I see it all the time. Pickens, JSN, Adams, grossly undervalued. JMO, everyone that overinvested in JMO, like I told you not to on draft day, going in the 3rd round on occasion, 3rd, 4th round turn. This was crazy value. He didn't deserve to go that high. But now the panic Peters that are holding the JMOs and holding the players that should never have drafted these players that high are now panicked. They're now 1 win in or 0 wins, and you are there for the taking. Addison, very, very nice wide receiver savior for you as people worry about the quarterback situation too much, and he just delivers. Lamb, go buy him now while people can't wait. Rice, go buy him now while people can't wait. These are great wide receiver solutions. We're talking about them, and then we're drafting. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So, you could even put Igbuka on this list. Why? Because people don't respect Emeka Egbuka. I don't know why. Even in our circles, I don't see it. Like, no offense here, Roland. I'm sorry to do this to you. But, like, this question right here is wild to me. Who do you guys like better rest of the season, Pickens or Egbuka? Do you understand what I'm saying? Don't come to me and act like you can't buy these players low. Our own community, I see questions like this over and over. And I'm not saying Pickens isn't good. I'm not saying Pickens isn't great right now. But what has Buka done to deserve this comment? What has Buka not done? Let's start there. Not much. He does pretty much everything. And I'm merely telling you, I see enough of these questions. I test the temperature. I know what you can get. I know what, not in every league. You might have a league where no one trades. I can't control that. I can't control that at all. But I do know that Emeka Egbuka is a monster. And I do know that Emeka Egbuka is going to continue to be a top 5 to 10 wide receiver. I do know that the Triple H and Associates will continue to ball.
Triple H and Associates, locations on Earth and Jupiter.
No one has patience. No one has patience in this game we play. For Hendy, for Hampton, everybody writing Hampton off, and even those writing off this man right here who, yes, is relegated to getting coffee right now. I see nothing but, should we drop him? He's trash. Very lazy takes. Very lazy takes to drop. Where did he go? He dropped to drop this man that, yeah, he's not doing well. He's out getting coffee. But to drop him is wild because we're 4 weeks in. Harvey, giving up on Harvey. I mean, everybody that gave up on Hampton, it's wild to me. Egbuka, why is anybody trying to trade Egbuka? Why do I get questions like this? No offense, Roland, again. I'm not trying to blast you here. But just why are we questioning Egbuka at all? The Egbuka should be put on this list. And JSN, unbelievable start to the season. And I see so many should have trade JSN questions. Pickens is unbelievable right now. And he'll continue to. And the Lamb injuries a blessing in disguise in that I think the offense gets to know Pickens in ways that you might not have seen the rapport build between the quarterback and wide receiver had Lamb been there the entire time. So it could be a blessing in disguise. Roland, I appreciate you. Jamo Williams, everybody loved him before draft day. Why is everybody giving up on him now? It's good news for you, because if you're in wide receiver hell, guess who's waiting there for the taking? This guy. Guess who can jump into your wide receiver 2 spot and probably produce low-end wide receiver 2 numbers? You hope for more. This guy. He had a great game in one of his games, and yet everybody's running away from him right now. Jamo's a great, fantastic go-get player. Adams has quietly been electric. The volume, the targets have all been there. Been involved in PIs that would have given him a lot more yards and points. Same with Pickens. Pickens in week 1 would have had like probably around 90 to 100 yards, but he had PIs and people to overlook that. The box score Bobbies didn't realize that Pickens had a great week 1. It was just a lot of PIs and yardage he couldn't get his hands on that he deserved and earned. Same thing with Adams. Adams is all over the place. Adams is a wide receiver 1. If you lost Neighbors, okay, so you're a Neighbors or Tyreek Hill owner, your solutions are right here. Your solutions are sitting right in front of you. You need to make a move. Here they are. Jamo might not be the most electric wide receiver 2, but he can be your wide receiver 2 if you need him to be. Adams might not be the most appealing wide receiver 1. He's a fantastic low-key wide receiver 1. Pickens, same thing. JSN is top 5 to 7 capable. For some reason, people trade him outside the top 7 wide receivers. Lamb, Rice, if you have 3 wins or more, these are your guys to go get. Addison's quietly. You have Addison, Jamo, and Pickens as your wide receiver 1, 2, and 3. You'll be okay. You have BTJ, Adams, and Pickens as your wide receiver 1, 2, 3. You'll be fine. You don't need to have the biggest wide receiver room in the land in order to make do if your running backs, your quarterback stable is a nice tripod of glory and you've got to go replace Neighbors. This might be your guy. Jamo might be so close to wide receiver 1 value at times, not all year. And that's what makes him a wide receiver 2, is because you add the wide receiver 1 games with the wide receiver 2, 3 games that he produces. He ends up being a low-end wide receiver 2, maybe high-end wide receiver 2. But this is a guy that can carry you if you need an emergency swap out. You lost Neighbors, you lost Hill, you're in dire straits. This man is fairly cheap. How do you get him? Waiver wire. If you're not on the waiver wire and you sat asleep crying your alligator tears about how you lost this guy, you lost that guy, and you sat on your hands and you didn't take advantage of the waiver wire, players like Woody Marks, like Tootin's another one just sitting there waiting for the taking. Tootin's getting dropped in so many leagues, and Tootin could be the very next player that ends up rising up and getting you that trade piece that you need at wide receiver, or becomes your running back too. I would have to say, out of all the players here, Tootin and Gordon are still the sleeping giant monsters. Rashard Smith still has that allure and appeal. DeMarcado and Carter and Knight, these are distractions. Are they great players? No. Are they good players that will help you? Yes. But is Tootin the guy that can win you the league? Yes. So if you're wondering how you get out of this situation to get into this situation, it's waiver wire. It's making good trades. It's getting extra pieces. It's holding players on your bench that you can then turn around like Woody Marks, turn around like Scatterbo, turn around like Mason, and flip them for a wide receiver. But you have to stay on your toes the entire season. You can't play why me, miss out on the waiver wire claims, and then not have the pieces you need to repair the lineup. Let me hit these supers and then we'll open phone lines here tonight. Ken with the super chat, $20 hauler. Ken, appreciate you dropping the 20 watt on screen, my good sir.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Thank you, pal. Want to kick off the show the right way with a $20 hauler, as you did. As you did.
You've just been Smitty approved.
And then Ken says this, Smitty is the hardest working man in the business. Thanks for the Wednesday night show. Thank you, Ken. Appreciate you dropping the selfless $20 super chat. You marvel. You absolute marvel. You, Josh, dropping another 20 watt on here. Josh, quesadilla, as they say in the biz, traded Jamar Chase and Jordan Mason for Devontae Adams and Woody Marks today. I think I like that. I think I do like that. It is one of those trades where I think my reaction might have not been what you wanted. You were hoping I'd stand up and just,
You've just been Smitty approved.
And I'm not trying to say it wasn't a great trade. The only reason I hesitated, because I do like it, is because it's almost like we want to steal away Adams and steal away Woody, and you had to pay kind of a price tag that feels like it stings a little bit, right? But at the end of the day, if I'm not trying to work somebody over on a trade and I'm just trying to evaluate a very even trade that I do feel is in your advantage, this is it. I mean, I like Woody Marks over Mason. I like Adams over Jamar Chase. It is what it is. So you win both sides of the trade. Do I like stealing away? Example, you trade Jamar Chase for Woody Marks and Devontae Adams. Like, that would have made me maybe stand up. Giving up Jordan Mason sucks that you're evening the scales a little bit, given you're giving up the big name, but the big name is injured right now. Not actually injured, but his value's injured. His value's down. Team is Penix Jr., Kyron, Marks, Henny, Harvey, Buka, Adams. I like the team. I think you won the trade. I do think you won the trade, Josh. I think it quietly is one of those really crafty moves that at the end of the day, you end up bettering your squad. I hate giving rid of Jamar Chase. It's still, we say things like it's only 4 weeks in, it's only 4 weeks in, and that is true for Jamar Chase as well. But the problem is we don't see a light at the end of the tunnel for him as much as we do other players. I don't know how he rebounds from this situation. I think he does at times. I think Jamar Chase could have 150 yards and a touchdown next week. And then the next week he has 50 yards. Then he has 40 yards. Then he has 100 yards and no touchdowns. Then he has 95 yards and no touchdowns. Then he has 55 yards. Then 45 yards. Then 35 yards. And back-to-back games. That's going to be Jamar Chase, unfortunately. Full PPR, one. Unless they trade for Jameis Winston, and then it's going to be, the whole industry is going to be shaken again. Like, what are we doing? Everyone's got rid of Jamar Chase. But it sounds like they don't want to do that. According to this staff, and this is right now, next week could be different. This staff believes in Browning, and we'll see what happens. One flex, Scattaboo, Xavier Worthy, Judkins. Judkins is the clear star, right guy, McFly. Thank you for the 20.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Now, anything can happen, right guy. Anything can happen with these guys. Worthy proved he's still looking really solid right now. So yeah, that could be good. But I just can't say Judkins. Judkins is too automatic, Woody for JMO. I'm fine with that if you need a wide receiver. I think Woody could be better than JMO, but this is a fine trade. This is why you got JMO. You're going to maybe have a little excess that you're trading away, but you did this for this reason, unless you don't need wide receivers. But it depends on if you're just trying to trade. But if you need a wide receiver badly, you lost Neighbors, you lost Tyreek Hill. This is why you got Woody Marks. And it's unfortunate you got to send him packing, but this is why you got him. This is the reason. Flex is rough. Diggs, okay, or all smoke. Mercado. I'd probably go Diggs right now. But Mercado could prove, You know what I also think? I don't know that you can mark my words on this, but I kind of feel like this is the way that it went when everyone's saying Carter's the starter, and Carter said he's the starter. Has anybody, and maybe I missed it, has anybody heard the coaching staff call Carter the starter? Because he ended up saying, I went from the Tillman, Pat Tillman, player of the week, whatever, and then I get vaulted up into the lineup. I don't know that he means the starting lineup. I just think he means like you go from practice squad guy into the bullpen. Like Carter literally said, I go from down here to in the lineup. I don't think he means like as the starter. I mean, did I miss a report where the staff came out and said Carter's our starter? Because everyone's like, he slipped up and let everybody know. Did he, or did he just get moved up into the big leagues is what he's saying. I don't think he means starter. I don't think he mean, I don't, and maybe he ends up being the starter, but I think everybody's reading this wrong, and anybody that's going to defend it, it's because you have them. You think you have a pot of gold on your hands right now. You think you found a $100 bill in the alley. And at the end of the day, I don't think Carter just rises up from the abyss and becomes the starter. He's saying I went from this from this cellar dweller, I fell down, and now I got back up, and now I'm a starter. Like I'm one of the 50 men on the feet. Like that's what he's saying. I don't think he's spilling the beans at all. I think anybody that thinks that, it's because you have them. You're really amped up. You hope this is true. You hope you found a real $100 bill in the alley. But someone's got one of those pens, or they're going to look at the $100 bill in the light, and you're afraid. You're afraid it's not going to be a real $100 bill. Traded CMC for Nico and Igbuka. Winner. This one's tough. I do think I like this. This is a winner. You got to look to, I don't know what your running back situation is. Maybe you're loaded and this works perfectly for you, and this is a total smash value for value. Nico and Buka for CMC, great.
You've just been Smitty approved.
But he's got, what's this message? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to but he has a golden opportunity. Who's got a golden opportunity? Who? CT6? Who? Carter? Because there's multiple running backs here. He's not being handed anything. I don't understand why people are buying into this. I don't know. I look, could Carter be the guy? Sure. But because he said so, because he maybe messed up on his wording. Like, come on, guys. I don't know. I don't think so. But he's got a golden opportunity. Does he? Does he really? But does he? Even if he was given majority of the work, this is the Arizona Cardinals, who their golden boy Benson, who we love, by the way. They didn't give him much work in between the tackles. You think Carter's getting 15, 20 totes a game? We'll see. $50 hauler from Finesse, dropping the wad on screen.
$50. Give me $50 hauler. I get better.
All right. Let's see here. Traded CMC, Rice, Evans, Johnston, and Miller for JSN, Jacobs, Kyron, Harvey. I'm 1-3. Hated to trade Rice, but I took a hit with the Bucky and Benson going down, and it's a must win. I still have Bucks. Is that Buka, or is that Bucky? Still a Buck? They can still Bucky, London, Hendy, Worthy, Robinson, CMC's backup. Okay. So traded CMC and Rice and Evans and Johnston and Kendre Miller for JSN, Jacobs, Kyron, and Harvey. This one's hard to break down, bro. Okay, so let's just say Rice for JSN and wipe that, even though there's debate on which one's better. So now it comes down to Evans and CMC for Jacobs, Kyron, and Harvey. Johnston too. I didn't think you get enough, bro. Like, this is an example, and I like what you got. I'm not saying it's not good, but I think you could have got a lot more. And you can't make the excuse of, it's a must win. Every game's a must win. And it's not a must win, bro. I'm not like, I can see through the situation here. You're 1-3. It's not a must win. It's an important win. But you could lose this game and still come back. People at 0-6 come back all the time to win a championship. So it's not a must win. Every game's a win. You need to win it. You want to win it. So I'm not buying that as like why you have to do a trade or make a bad trade. Or that's usually when someone says it's a must win. I didn't mean to. You're trying to preface that I'm not going to like it. But Finesse, I'm not saying you made a bad trade. You just could have got more. Christian McCaffrey alone can get you JSN and Jacobs. So then in like that, and that's a good trade. So then if it was like Rice for Kyron, then I could say, like, you could say that's an even swap. But then giving up Evans and Johnson on top of it kind of like starts to pull it in the even direction when I want you to take advantage of the situation. So not a bad trade at the end of the day. And your team looks really good. And you've got a lot of talent. And Harvey's a kicker. If Harvey ends up getting the job and going, ham later, you're going to crush the trade. I just think that far too many people are getting rid of CMC without getting what they deserve to get, So, but I think it's smart getting rid of him maybe before this game. Maybe it's smart to get rid of him after this game. He's literally going to be overworked like crazy in this game. It's going to be, he either scores 85 points or he's going to be injured by halftime. Okay, but anyway, you got a good team. I still think you hated to trade Rice, but took the hit. Bucky. So you're going to have Bucky, London, Worthy, JSN, Jacobs, Kyron, Harvey. It's a great team, bro. You're easily a top 5 team without even looking at the rosters. You didn't make a bad trade. You just didn't crush it like you could have. It's kind of like saying, I have $100,000 to go spend on or $500,000 to go spend on a house, and you go buy a house for $490,000. Well, you could have got it for like $375. But you still might be worth $800,000 like 2 years from now. It's not a bad situation. It's just you could have got more. Neighbors owner, 10-man PPR. 10-man PPR sent Henry, Hunter, and Kenneth. Why does everybody have Hunter and Hunter Henry in like the same trade questions? It's the wildest thing in the world. It's such a trip up too as you're reading it fast. Henry, Hunter Henry, and Kenneth Walker. Rescue Hampton, Pickens, and BTJ. Okay, so you're sending Henry, Hunter Henry, and Kenneth Walker for Hampton, Pickens, and BTJ. Sorry, the wording here is weird. Yes, I think I would probably rather have the Hampton, Pickens, and BTJ side. I think it's a good deal. Is it a lambasting? Not necessarily, but it's a good deal. You did good. This one from James, and I got more super chats. Don't worry, I'll read them all. Smitty PPR pick 1 to sit this week. I'm probably sitting, I think, Diggs for right now. He had a big game, but he's not a guarantee of any kind. Which one would you rather stash and drop? Watson, Mims, Slayton, Tucker, Golden, Miller, Bond, Hunt. Thinking of dropping Golden or Watts for Watson. Watson who? Christian Watson? No. I don't know. I like Golden and Bond a little bit. I like Golden and Bond. Dropping Golden. Okay. Let's see here. Which one to stash? I don't understand. So you have all these players. You're dropping one for Watson. I don't know. I'm not picking up Watson. If you're talking about Christian Watson, no. Golden. I want to keep Golden probably. As far as like who would I drop here? I guess I would say. I don't know. Your question's really confusing, bro, because you're listing players together that are in your drops, and you're saying drop Golden. So I don't understand. But I'm going to say that I think you've messed up writing this. I'm going to say in general, I'm going to rank these guys as the top option would be Golden. Then I would probably put Bond, Tucker, and Slayton maybe in that order after that. I have no idea what you're saying there. I appreciate you, though. You can re-ask it if you want, but that's very confusing how you wrote it. Traded my JT for Nico, Brees, Marv, Smitty approved. Yeah, I could get behind that. I would then try and flip Marv to make this really, sting that other owner where you're like, you turn Marv and something into a masterful, second player. Then I really like it. Famous Amos with the $20 super chat. Famous, appreciate you.
Alert. Super chat alert.
We need some people to proofread their super chats before they send them. 0-4 I'm delusional and still believe in my squad. I like it in capital letters. No, you're not delusional famous. Lamb, JD5 Debo, Travis Hunter, Hampton, JCM Tyler Warren, Sharbs, Brashard Smith, traded Mason for Debo, love that, and Goff, nice. Last change I got to make is sell AJB and DJ Moore. I would probably go after Adams. I'd probably go after GSN. I'd probably trade AJB for Pickens. I'd trade DJ Moore for JMO. I'd trade both of them for Rice. I'd go after Derrick Henry. Those are famous. Those are the moves that might make you even more famous, Amos. If you make those moves, appreciate you. My ETN, Garrett Wilson, and Tootin for Bijan and Algier. My ETN, Garrett Wilson, and Tootin for Bijan and Algier. It's pretty hard to argue either side crushes the other, bro. I mean, ETN's playing out of his mind. You've got Tootin cuffed to him, and you got Garrett Wilson. I'd probably lean toward Bijan unless you can't win with Bijan. Or if you're getting Bijan, you're going to get Bijan. If you are winning and doing it live with what you have, you might want to stand down potentially. Ben Due with a $20 hauler. But if you need a change and you got a surplus of talent, then yeah, go get Bijan and do it live. But if this is gonna drain the coffers, bro, and you got like nothing, to throw out there, it's a risky move. Smitty, Bond or Slayton? I'm gonna go Bond. This is a kid that they're really excited about there in Cleveland, and he's a player I told you all was better than Golden. It's just he had a really rough hand dealt to him with not being drafted because of the off the field situation. Thoughts on trading? Thank you for that $20. Thoughts on trading Saquon Barkley, RJ Harvey, and Travis Hunter for James Cook and George Pickens? Yeah, I'm taking that trade, bro. I'm taking James Cook and George Pickens easily. I mean, look, Cook's playing out of his mind, and George Pickens is also playing amazingly. Lost Evans to injury, traded Achane and Hurt, and you're just saying like injured Lamb. Traded Achane and injured Lamb for Henry and Sutton. No, I wouldn't have done that. I couldn't have done that. I'm sorry, bro. Cody, I don't approve that. Achane, I like how you're I like how you're prefacing he's hurt. You're trying to dumb down that side when I evaluate it, but it doesn't work. It doesn't get past this noggin, bro. Just because you call him Hurt Lamb doesn't make him less valuable to me. I would rather have Hurt Lamb and Hurt Lamb and Achane. However, it's not the end of the world. I do believe this could work out for you. I think you definitely need Henry to bounce back majorly. But I want Lamb over Sutton and I want Achane over Henry. So you lost on both sides. Not a ton, but you did lose on both sides, in my opinion. And let the chat also weigh in on that if they would like to. Chat, vote on that. I'm asking rest of season Pickens and Igbuka because my running back sucks. I need to trade one to get Judkins. But Roland, that doesn't change anything. You're asking rest of season what? Does Igbuka not play well down the stretch? Is Igbuka turn into a pumpkin? Does he lose his slipper and turn into he's not going to be a princess anymore? Like, what's going to happen to Igbuka that I don't know about? Rest of season, I want the top 5 wide receiver. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Roland. Roland, I appreciate your super chat and I appreciate you. I would definitely trade Pickens for Judkins. I would keep Igbuka. And, push comes to shove. I do think Judkins and Igbuka is close, but I still wouldn't do it. Smitty, I just got offered Bucky for my scat, and my other backs are. Don't even need to know your other backs. Yes, take Bucky and run. I don't even want to read the rest of your series. It doesn't matter. I mean, your team matters, but it doesn't change my evaluation of the trade. DeMarcado or Carter? I think DeMarcado, but apparently everyone that owns Carter thinks he's starting because he said he is. I went from, and he might get the start. Like, hey, you're going to start this one and we'll rotate this around. I mean, who knows how they're talking about it, but usually DeMarcado is being used for a reason. Now, could they bring up Carter and use him a lot? Yeah. But anybody saying that Carter's the starter, they own him. Of course they want him to be the starter. I would say this is tough. I would say, even with all that said, I don't know that I'm able to give you this answer. I wish I could. Sometimes I don't know. And it'd be dumb of me to act like I know what the Cardinals are going to do with the running back situation. If I had to lean one direction, I'd lean with the guy that's been playing and on the field, and they've been using him, and he's looked pretty good, DeMarcado. But does he does he stay healthy? I don't know. Down bad with injuries, 100 fab, currently 85 left. Running backs, Achane, lost Connor Evans, blow load on Arizona backfield or hold. I mean, it depends who else is there, bro. I mean, of course, I'd rather have Tootin. DeMarcado, I don't know if that feels like something that's going to save your season, though, or Carter. I don't think those guys are saving seasons. Skynet, thank you for the $20 hauler, my boy.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Smitty, I just got offered Bucky for my scat. Oh, I just read this one. Unbelievable, bro. My receivers are Buka, Pickens, Sutton, and Jennings. Yeah. No matter what, you got to take that. Even if you flip it, you're flipping it for more than that. That guy's so low, bro. Sent Mason and Hunter for Neighbors and Neighbors. Sat. What is Sat, bro? Okay. Hunter Mason for Neighbors. Woody for Rice. Oh, you sat Woody. You have a comma, so I don't know what you're saying. Sat, comma, Woody for Rice. You guys need to proofread this stuff. Sat, comma, Woody for Rice Sunday. I don't know what the hell that means, bro. Rice ain't playing, so I don't know what that means. Anyway, Mason and Hunter for Neighbors, do it live. That's all I can do. I don't know. Some of you guys need to read this before you send it. Just briefly, just a little proofread. Otherwise, it's like you got to send another one, which is fine by me, but trade idea for HN for Sutton and Hall. I think I'd rather have HN. It's close. It's arguable for sure, but Sutton and Hall, yeah, it's okay. I'd rather have HN. Should I try and trade my Sutton for Breece Hall? That's fine. Either way, I could get behind either side. Other running backs should I target? Sutton for... I mean, you got to try and get Judkins before he has a huge game. Remember, Judkins didn't explode. We love Judkins, but he didn't explode. Henry, Judkins, Hampton's going to be untouchable because of the monster game that he had. I think, Bucky injured. Oh, we're seeing a lot of people freak out on that. Shout out Gary and Bucky. Oh, yeah, Boogie. Shout out Gary and Bucky. Thank you, Boogie. Appreciate you. Trade Tyler Warren and J-Mo for Adams and Woody Marks. I'd probably take... I think it's fair. It's even. If you need a tight end, this makes sense to have the tight end side of this. And if you need a running back, then Woody's great. And then Adams fills that void. I mean, it's pretty damn even. I'd say even Steven type of move, bro. Even Steven move. Great job constructing that. Got offered MHJ, Woody, and Jennings for Lamb, or Genty and MHJ for Lamb. What are you guys doing, man? I mean, how do you read half of this shit? Got offered MHJ, Woody, and Jennings for Lamb. Okay. MHJ, Woody, Jennings, so no. Or Genty and MHJ for Lamb. Genty and MHJ for Lamb. I like that. And then I trade MHJ and something else to really make this trade work for me. I think that's what you meant there. Okay. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate you. Some of these questions are they're run-on sentences, or there's 7 variations in them, and your boys, this is late. It's hard for me to read this and process it all. After you've read thousands of questions. Full PPR, my Woody and Tet for Tyler Warren and Rashad White. Give me Woody and Tet. Woody and Ted. But man, there's so many variables here. Like, do you need Tyler Warren? You know what I mean? Like that could influence me to saying it's even enough that if you're going after Tyler Warren for that reason. But traded Mason DK for Bowers Harvey. I love Bowers and Harvey. I think Bowers is a good buy low. Have Genty win loss. Let's give it a W. But arguments to be made on all sides. Full PPR. Sharbs, Pacheco, or BTJ. Give me BTJ. I'm willing to gamble on BTJ at that cost of entry. Is Gabriel worth dropping Wandell or Slayton for? I don't think so, bro. I mean, sure. Who cares about Slayton? I mean, Wandell and Slayton, if you're starting those guys, you're probably in trouble. Unless it's bye week related. That I understand. So I'd probably say Wandell, Slayton slightly more. But hopefully those aren't regular starters for you. 3-1 gave Achane, Jamar Chase, got Bijan. As much as we love to say trade Jamar Chase, it almost feels like you're giving him away almost for free. I believe me, I want Bijan over Achane, but damn, man. Chad, are we taking Bijan or Achane Jamar? Bijan or Achane Jamar? It's a lot to give up. I mean, Achane and Jamar Chase for Bijan is so much. It's crazy. Or getting a Bijan vote. I don't blame you. And I'm definitely leaning that way. Because what is Jamar anyway right now? I don't know. You'd like to think it's going to get better, right? But what if it doesn't? What if he gets injured because the hospital ball is getting tossed in his direction? John, stop begging people for help, okay? It makes people not want to answer you in the chat when you're like, please help, please help, please help, and you're just posting a question over and over. It's how you get put in timeout, John. It's how you get put in timeout. I guess I'd say Bijan Nick, but I'm not going to lie, man. This feels awful. I wonder if your team's going to have enough. If you have enough depth to do it, sure. But I wonder what your team's going to look like after. Trying Diggs and Higgins for Scat Pack. Diggs and Higgins. It's not too much, bro. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with overpaying a little like that. That's not a big deal. Mason, AJB, or BTJ for Adams. I'd probably rather keep BTJ, to be honest, in hopes that he does some remarkable turnaround. So Mason, AJB for Adams. I'd probably do that and keep BTJ and just hope that turns around. Wandell, Horton, Malik, Washington, best stash play. I'd probably say Wandell for safety, Horton for high risk, high reward though. Josh Allen and Judkins for Bijan. That's a lot. Have Love, Caleb, QB1 man. That's a lot, bro. I'd probably say, this might not be popular, but I'd probably say Josh Allen and Judkins outscores Bijan and Love or Bijan and Caleb. Because, look, Judkins is going to be great. I love Bijan. I want Bijan more, but Judkins is going to be great. Josh Allen's literally a week winner. Give me Josh Allen and Judkins. That might not be what everybody else agrees on. To be honest, I think I could be in the minority on that one. Chat, vote on that one. Sup, Smitty, Demarcado, or Carter. I mean, I've done this all day long, Bruce. I've answered this question all day long. It's probably Demarcado. But everyone's saying it's Carter. Carter says he's the starter. I don't. Sorry if forgive me if I don't believe that. Josh Allen and Judkins. Oh, I just did that one. Traded my Adams, Chase Brown for London and Kyron. I like London and Kyron. Famous Amos 0-4, AJB for Harvey and Rice. Smitty approved, right? Yes. Give me Rice. Give me the Rice side of that, bro. That's a great trade. Who dat? Lolo, appreciate you, my boy. Sup, Smitty? Do I trade Igbuka and Scat for Achane? I don't know how I feel about that. Let me know. Do I trade Igbuka and Scat for Achane? I think it's pretty even. Honestly, if you need a running back, I get it. Also, would you trade BTJ and Hendy for JJ? I probably would take JJ. Even though I think Hendy could make this an even trade at some point. But it's a what if, and it's a long road, and you don't know when that road's going to start. And as far as Achane, like I like Ibuka a lot. I'd probably go with Buka Scat. But it's close. It's arguable on that other one. It's very, very arguable. Got offered Judkins and Addison for my Rice and Harvey. Judkins and Addison for me. I was waiting to see if you would take JC. Yeah. I'd like to keep Harvey, but I'd definitely take their Judkins side, bro. And Addison's pretty damn good, bro. Just got offered Nico for Hampton. I only got Gibbs and Harvey as my running backs. My wide receivers would be Nico, London, Pickens, trade Pickens for a running back, and how low of a running back should you go? Pickens for Henry, Pickens for Judkins or type player. I sometimes forget who's even in the trade, bro. Hall, Pickens for Hall, Pickens for ETN, Pickens for Jacobs, Pickens for... You start running out of names at that point, bro. But, I mean, I guess I would say I'd rather have Hampton. But it's close, man. It's not far off. If you were to do it, it's Smitty approved in the sense that no one's taking a lap for either side. Running backs are Bucky, Saquon, DeMarcado. Send Rice, Saquon, JSN for Jacobs, Brees, and Adunze. Rice, Saquon, and JSN. Ah, man. I'm going to take Rice, Saquon, JSN. Adunze softens the blow. I got Pittman. Nothing should be softening the blow. You should just be doing the right trade. And honestly, Rice, Saquon, and JSN. While there's concerns about Saquon for sure, it's just a better side of the trade, I think, in my opinion, bro. Got offered JMO for AO Manor and Tootin. I'd take JMO. Adams, Pitts for BTJ and Sharps. I would take probably Adams and Pitts, bro. Buka for London and Jacoby. I'd take Buka. I'd take Buka over London. Jacoby doesn't do much, but London and Buka are close, man. That's a real close situation. Judkins, Tet, and Hunter Henry for Bijan and AJB. Bijan and AJB, and then I flip AJB, but you got to take the Bijan side. Mason and Fergie for Achane. Of course you're taking Achane. It's like not even close, bro. That's light work. I send Brees and Jamar for BTJ and Genty. I'd probably take BTJ and Genty, but it's painful, bro. It's painful. It sucks, man, to send off Jamar Chase like this. It really does. Hey, Smitty, I cash in Pickens and Mason Walker for Gibbs and Ladd. I love that. That's Smitty approved, bro. That's fantastic. That's great. And your bench is good. Everything looks good. March on to the championship. Sup, Smitty. So far, I'm 3-1. Team is 85. JSN, Buka, Bijan, Kyron. Garrett Wilson, Tyler Warren, bench is Debo, Harvey. You got a lot of players on the bench. Keenan Allen and Debo could be tradable. Moves to make or stand down. I mean, honestly, bro, the team looks fantastic. I think the only thing I'd even consider moving would be potentially like a Debo and Kyron for as high up as you can get. You know, if you can get Gibbs somehow, bro, using Debo and Kyron. You know, you throw in Sharps or throw in Keenan Allen. Yeah, that's about it. Would I trade Debo and, let's say, Keenan Allen or Debo Harvey, Debo Keenan Allen, Debo Garrett Wilson for a JJ or something? But yeah, like that kind of stuff. Just upgrade slightly somewhere. That's the only thing you could do. Everything else looks good. I don't think I move much of the starters at all. Got offered BTJ and Woody for Bowers. Give me Bowers, honestly, bro. I think BTJ and Woody's nice. It's not a bad move, but I'd probably just rather keep Bowers. I drafted Warren as my backup tight end. Okay, so you got Tyler Warren. Okay, then I think I'd try and get something different, though. I definitely would trade Bowers. This isn't horrible. Would anybody want Woody and BTJ for Bowers, or would you rather search for a different deal? Which you might have done, but it doesn't mean I give up. You're only 4 weeks in. Like, if you did a trade next week, still okay. Trivia, who was nicknamed the human first down? Megatron? I felt like I needed help at wide receiver, so I traded Woody for Flowers. Team is now, I don't know, that might be an okay trade later, but I wouldn't have done that with Lamar injured, and I think Woody's value is just getting cooking. So I probably would have waited a week before I just like, it seems like you just sold to the highest bidder at the moment, you know, versus being patient. So I don't like that trade in general, but I don't think you like made a grave mistake or anything, but it could be. It could be. Who could I trade Mike Evans for? Not much right now, bro. Woody Marks, try it. Scattaboo. Jamo. McLaurin injured. I think your best bet is to throw him into a deal. Other tradables are Monty, Monty. Keeping Saquon plus Kyron at running back and Rashid and QJ at wide receiver. I'd trade QJ and Evans together, or Evans and Saquon to upgrade into slightly safer RB right above them. I don't think you're going to get Gibbs, but would I trade Mike Evans and Kyron to go maybe a little safer at RB? Potentially. Would I trade Evans and Kyron for like Henry and a receiver that's underrated, like BTJ or something? Maybe. Would I trade Evans for BTJ? Sure. And Birdman with the super chat, $5 hauler. My boy Birdman doing it live. 3-1. JSN Worthy for Rice and Adams. JSN Worthy for Rice and Adams. Give me, it's pretty close. I suppose I would say that is JSN and Worthy for Rice. And I'd probably say it's pretty damn close. At 3-1, I'd rather have Rice and Adams at the end of the day. But I love Worthy, what he did, what he looked like. But one hit and he could be done. You know. All right, let's get into a draft on Underdog. Promo code Smitty. Play 5, get 100. So just smash the link that's in the live chat. I'll drop it again fresh in the live chat. It should be pinned. Or maybe it's not pinned in the live chat yet, but I'll pin it right now. Here's the link on Underdog, promo code Smitty. I'll pin the link in the live chat right there. There it is. Code Smitty gets it done as well. Underdog is so fun to play, especially if like your season's in the crapper, or even if it's not in the crapper, you just want more skin in the game. Use that code Smitty and they'll playing 5 will get you 50 or get you 100. Let me log in here. All right. So we're going to get into a draft on Underdog again. Play 5, get 50 or get 100. It used to be get 50. It's get 100 temporarily. So hit that. Make sure you take an advantage. Go into the Battle Royale week number 5. You just hit the Originals tab at the bottom, and then you'll see it's the third option. It should be on the carousel of stuff. Hit it in 5 seconds. We're going to click enter and get into the draft. Appreciate you all. I'll answer super chats as we draft. But click in now, and then we'll see if we can get into draft together. If you don't get in, they fill quickly. There's only 6 spots, and I'm taking one of them, so there's only 5 potential spots, and that's if I get in as the first person. So just play alongside if for any reason you don't get in. Just you'll enjoy yourself. Pick up Stafford today and traded him for Jamo. That's a great move. That's a great move. Always hard to do that too, because people are like bitter about that. Like, you just picked him up. I'm not going to trade for him out of principle. Out of principle. Birdman says you didn't answer the full super chat. Let's see here, Birdman. Okay, sorry. or JSN for Rice straight up. I take probably at 3-1. I'd rather have Rice, but it's tough. You almost have to get something to suffice while you wait, unless your team looks good enough. I have JSN, Buka, Worthy, or Keenan. Stacks are lethal in my league. Why are they lethal in your league? You get more points for a stack score? Like, what do you mean by that? Best stack with Mahomes. What best stack with Mahomes? What best stack with Mahomes? What's that even mean? What do you mean, what best stack with Mahomes? I don't know what that means, Birdman. You have to clarify. As far as these trades, I would probably take Rice straight up. And if there's extra points for stacking, which I don't know if you just mean they're lethal for what reason, I don't know. But I definitely love Rice once he's back. I think JSN scoring a little bit longer for you, 2 weeks, might be. There's something to that, though. You know, it kind of depends on what you're... If you have Keenan Allen to go into the lineup, I don't mind that, though. Stroud, Henry, Sharps, JSN, Igbuka, Ingram, Harvey, benches, Coleman, Dowdle, 2-2, lost Neighbors, and traded Kyron for JSN. Give trade ideas. I'll be honest with you, bro. I don't know that you have a lot to trade. You're going to have to either wait it out for Rice to come back, and then you have Rice, JSN, and Igbuka, and Henry, and you just hope that Sharps gets in there, and you just really hit that waiver wire for quarterbacks. Maybe like Dak got dropped in a bunch of leagues last week, Dak Prescott, and you pick him up, and now you got a quarterback. So I think that's your one move. Your second move would be to trade Rice right now for a potential... You already got Henry, right? That would have been a perfect player. Rice for Brees and something. Rice for... Let's see what running back. For Judkins. I think those would be the best moves, Easton. Other than that, I mean, I think waiting is the other option just until... Igbuka, I don't think it's the value you want. CD plus Bowers for Hunter, Henry, Ladd, Genty, and Rice. Jeez, man. I think I probably, if I'm 2 wins or more, I'm wanting the CD Bowers side because it will rebound. If I... The other thing is, though, like, you can't have the right... Well, yeah, you can. I mean, you can wait on Rice. Genty's playing great. I don't know. This is pretty close. Chat, what would you rather have? CD and Bowers or Hunter, Henry, Ladd, Genty, Rice? Can we get a vote on this one, please? And Birdman, did you clarify? I'll go looking for your... I don't know if Birdman clarified. Worthy or Rice for the stack? But what you didn't answer the question, though. Like what you said, stacking is like lethal in your league. Why? Is there more points, or are you just saying that because everybody likes to do it and talk about it? Like, I got the stack. I hit you with the stack. I won with the stack. Is that just like popular? Because I don't know that it scores more points. I've never heard of a stack scoring more points. I would rather have Rice. If you can weather it, I would rather have Rice. Is that what you mean, Birdman? I don't know. I'm trying to help you. I just don't know what you meant. Peter, appreciate you. DB, thank you, pal. Birdman, appreciate you, Birdman. Diggs or Myers? Probably Myers. Hunter Henry or Kelsey? Probably Hunter Henry. He's outscoring him, bro. Hunter Henry's doing it. He's doing it live. What would you send for Kamara? I don't want Kamara. So, honestly, for me, not much. I think he's going to break down even if he gets traded. I don't know how that's going to go. Like, I want to get rid of Kamara. So, you're asking the wrong guy. I got Kendra Miller off waivers, and Kamara owners lost Tyreek, Golden, Judy, Gainwell. I guess if you're talking about sending... Hold on, let me make my pick here. If you're talking about sending Golden, Judy, and Gainwell for Kamara, I mean, you're asking for Kamara and Kittle. You're getting a little greedy, Scream. No one's giving you Kittle and Kamara for a heap of trash. And I'm not saying I don't like Gainwell, but no one's giving you Kamara and Kittle for that heap of garbage. If you can get just Kamara for that, I will be very impressed, and I will take it. You know why? Because then I'll flip it, but I'm not keeping it. I'm flipping it, so the answer is yes. I would do that in a heartbeat, but I would never, if you didn't tell me that, I'd never in a million years suggest you could get Kamara for that heap of garbage. Birdman, did you end up replying or no? I don't know. At this point, I can't. I don't know if I can find it. Birdman, if you got another question, hit me with a question and I'll definitely help you out. Just be very clear and concise in the message if you don't mind. If you don't mind, broski, appreciate that. Let's go with a, man, it's so painful to not be able to grab Bucky. It's so painful. Bucky, I'm sorry. Bucky, I'm sorry. St. Brown, Henry, McBride, JD5. Yeah, Travis, go ahead. JCM, Mercado, or Carter off the waiver wire. Is Tootin an option? I'd rather have Tootin. But if I had to pick here, I guess I'd go Mercado. But everyone's saying it's Carter. Carter practiced with the ones too, Smitty. I don't know. I don't know if I buy it. I don't know if I buy it. Pat. Let's see here. Michael Carter ready to start amid Cardinal injuries across 3 seasons. I don't know, man. You guys' guess is literally as good as mine at this point with this Cardinal situation. I mean, unless the coach comes out and tells me he's the starter, I'm not taking the player's word for it. Because he could have easily misspoke when he was suggesting, hey, I came. And I know he ran with the ones, but, bro, they rotate too. You know, it's not like he's the only one running with the starters. You know, sometimes it's like, hey, let's get him verse. He's playing catch-up. Why aren't you working over here? And he goes out there, and the beat writer's like, he's working. He's the first one out. Like, you could get misled with some of that. And again, if he's like, yeah, I am down here, and now I'm up with the big boys, with the starters. Like, the starters, the guys that actually go out there on the field. Like, who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? And Square with the $100. Everybody's pretty today. Everybody's pretty.
Smitty. Everybody's pretty.
Thank you for the $100 hauler. Oh, I'm on the clock. I'm almost timing out here. Debo Samuel. Boom. Okay, JD5 Debo. Thank you for the $100 hauler, Square. Pretty. Everybody's pretty. Appreciate you. Neighbors, Reek. Sorry to hear you lost those boys. Nix, Dart, Hampton, Woody, Ladd, Franklin. Man, you got hit hard. Jamar, Harvey, Tootin, Benson. Man. Traded Henry and Scat for Chase, Woody, and Ladd. I probably wouldn't have done that, man. Square, I think you got a little nervous and pulled off. I mean, anything can happen. I don't mind it. It's not bad. I just think a lot of volume. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. That's tough because I love Woody. And I do think Ladd will rebound at some point. But Jamar Chase right now just feels like a name. I don't know. I'd be lying to you if I said I felt strongly about Chase one way or the other. I think it's a very confusing situation that will remain confusing. And even if he has a big game, everybody could get excited and then he could have 2 really bad games. I don't know. I would say I'd say it's not horrible. Traded Henry, Scat. I just think Scat's pretty damn good. And Henry, I believe, will be fed like crazy now. And we'll see what that means. We'll see how that works out. But I'll go Woody Marks here in this one. So my team is St. Brown, Henry, McBride, JD5, Debo Samuel, Woody Marks. I think that's pretty solid. Okay, traded Henry Scat for Chase Brown, Woody Lad. Season might be over, but wanted to show love even though there's no ideas. Square, I appreciate you coming in with $100 hauler on this. Like, here you are down and out about your team, feeling bad about it. You come in and drop a $100 hauler. First of all, standing ovation for you. You want meatloaf or mashed potatoes? How about we give you both? I smell meatloaf.
Mashed potatoes.
I think that your team, I mean, you couldn't help this. First of all, Square, let me do you a solid, Square. Travis, we still have that open spot in the league, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Square, email me right now. In the Patreon league, we got a team too. We got a team. It's a solid team. It's open right now. It's the Patreon spillover league. We got an opening, a vacancy. You're gonna have to take over someone's team. But you certainly can jump in and grab it and have fun and have something else to play for. So email me. Go to thefantasyfootballshow.com. Click on the contact form and send me a number between 0 and 1,000. Make it unique so no one can guess it. And then come into the live chat and tell me what number you sent me. And then I'll send you the link to get into the league and take over the spot. But I want you to have some
2-2 team. It's got JT on it too.
Okay. So Square, let's get you in the mix to have more fun, bro. Appreciate you, Square. But your team could still do it, bro. You got Hampton, you got Woody, you got Jamar, Lat. Like this, don't give up. What if Harvey is a monster, bro? What if Benson does come back on a tear, and he probably will only miss 4 to 6 weeks? So we'll have to see what happens when he comes back. But email me right now at thefantasyfootballshow.com. Put that number in there, and then send it back to me. Okay? I want you to make sure. I want to make sure.
Woody isn't bad. Hampton, Woody, and Harvey. That's not bad. Nick's is coming around. If Ladd can come around for him as the season goes.
Yeah. Hey, in Square, there's no entry fee or anything for it. But the winner of the spillover league, there's 2 leagues. So the winner of there's 2 spillover leagues. The winner of each will be looked at, and whichever team won and had the most amount of points as the winner is automatically in the main Patreon league. And then the Patreon league, it gets drafted live on the show. So these are the spillover leagues. They're like the alternate leagues, but the 2 winners will be compared, and the one that scored more points is the one that gets a lock in next year's live draft that will take place live streamed on the show. So it'll be fun for you to be in that and try and win that. So you can win. So you're fighting for something. You're trying to win a spot in that live draft where you'll be, your name will be up here, and there'll be 12 of us drafting live, and you'll be in it next year. So I appreciate you, bro. And that's because you're selfless, bro. You were selfless. You came in here. You didn't need to. Your season was going down the drain in your mind. And Travis and I still think you got a shot. But your season's gone down the drain, Square. You didn't need to come in here. You could have just, I'm not going to send any money. I'm not winning this year. And you drop $100 hauler. You're selfless, Square. You're selfless. And you know what else you're going to get? I'm going to give you 6 months Patreon membership as well. Just because you're a selfless person. And if you don't have the Patreon membership already. So send me that message. I appreciate you. Ricky Turbo, hold on one second, Travis. What do you do with this stacked team, Smitty? 1-3, 10-man PPR, QB, Herbo, running backs, Achan, Genti, Jacobs, Woody, Hendy, wide receiver, Boca, Rice, London, Pickens. What do I do with that team? It's pretty good. I think I'm pretty excited is what I am. It's a great team. I don't think you need to, you consolidate it all, maybe. Like Jacobs and BTJ, Jacobs and Pickens, Jacobs and, yeah, maybe something like that. Jacobs and Pickens or Jacobs and BTJ for JJ, for I do Jacobs for, honestly, I'd take a gamble on Henry. Jacobs for Henry. I'd take a gamble on, let's call it Woody and Pickens for Henry. What do you think of Saquon Barkley, bro? Travis, would you trade for Saquon Barkley now that he's seller dweller pricing? Not truly seller dweller, but like he went from riches to like not rags, but people are worried about him. Like, would you take him for Jacobs straight up, or would you rather have Jacobs?
No, I'd take Saquon. I'd take that chance.
So, like, that's a move you could maybe do. Or Woody and Pickens for Saquon or for Henry. Ricky, your team is amazing, though. Like, if you didn't make a move, you could screw yourself out of, like, starting the wrong guys each week because you're so deep, but it's such a good team. Rice owners 3-1 offer AJB and DJ Moore for Rice and Harvey and Tootin. Sure. I mean, I'd take Rice straight up, but don't tell him. But yes, absolutely. And you might be getting too greedy to where he says no, and then when you tweak it and you're like, okay, how about just for Rice? He may have done it with the initial shock value of you doing the 2-for-1, but now he might say no because you backed him off slowly. So be careful. I might drop to 0-5, but will wash my hands of AJB and more. I would do it. I wouldn't ask for Harvey, Tootin, and Rice. Maybe if you ask for one of them, but you might get him to say yes if you just do the 2-for-1. I think you really could scare him off by doing that first offer, then trying to dial it back, and then he says no to all of them. People get in the habit of saying no, and then they don't say yes to anything. Keeper League 0.5 squad is as follows. Okay. Your trade would be got offered Kyron, Corum, and a 26 first for my Pickens and 26 second. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting Kyron, Corum, and a first rounder for basically Pickens, bro. I mean, I get a seconds involved, but I'm taking the running backs in the first rounder. Easy. And then this one, I like Pickens too. But 12-team Knicks, Dart, Purdy, London, Garrett Wilson, Igbuka, Ayuk, Hampton. Any moves to make? I'd probably say Kamara and or Marks and or Chase Brown with maybe you got Hampton, you got you know what, this is gonna be hard to do like a wide receiver because I like London and Garrett Wilson and Buka. So unless I'm moving like Kamara and Garrett Wilson for JJ or higher, I'm probably trying to just move Kamara and Chase Brown together for one better running back. Or trying to get crafty and go Kamara and maybe Marks or Kamara and Sharps to the Walker owner because they have Henry. But I think Henry for Kamara would be good even if you're throwing in something small. But go to the Walker owner and see what you can do there. I think I've advised you that already, but you know, maybe there's something there. But I definitely like buying low on these guys too. Like Adams would be great using Kamara. Go get Adams. All right, let me check the email real quick. Go ahead, Travis. What do you got? What do you hear? What do you say?
Just on Jacobs, I always have to worry about him, you know, with the possible injury and kind of hit the wall. But I was just looking at his schedule. It's like it's green through week 13 right now. So how do you feel about that, knowing his schedule? It's so easy.
Yeah. Hey, the Patreon, I like Jacobs a lot. The Patreon League is the Spillover 2. Is that the one?
Yeah, and it should show the just like team number or something.
Okay, let me try and invite. I'm going to send you a link right now, bro. Hang tight.
Yeah, team 7.
Okay, I'm going to send you that link right now, bro. There is the link to join. And once you join, I got to attach it to the team. So I just sent it right now. Click that link, jump in, and then we'll assign you to the team. All right, go. Yeah, Jacobs, I like Jacobs. I think it depends on, you know, what you can trade to get him, but like getting rid of Kamara for Jacobs. So in that example with Hassan, if you could give up something small, I would trade AJB for Jacobs, and I'd give up something small. I would trade Kenneth
What about
Walker.
the Barkley thing?
Kenneth
I
Walker.
just want to make sure I wasn't giving bad advice there with the Saquon Barkley thing. 'Cause
I mean,
I hadn't looked at his schedule.
I don't think that has to do with Jacobs. Has to do with Barkley. Like, do you believe Barkley will bounce back a little bit, or do you not? If you think Barkley will bounce back, then Barkley's better than Jacobs, because you know what Jacobs is. He's a good player that has a good schedule. They'll probably play like a low-end running back 1 value that will maybe finish like top of the high-end running back 2s. He might be like running back 13, number 8 to 14 maybe. Whereas Saquon's either going to be 4 or he's going to be 20. And, there's a reason why we didn't draft Henry. There's a reason why, and I'm not saying I got everything right. I'm not saying that at all. I didn't want to draft James Cook high. That's on me. I take full ownership of that bad call. Now, he could get hurt tomorrow and we all say, well, maybe whatever. But that doesn't excuse the fact that he's been balling the hell out, and I didn't think he would. So I've taken that L as of this moment, no doubt about it. But we have called way more avoids than I've missed on those. Henry, Barkley, J-Mo, Tet McMillan, Golden. I mean, the list goes on and on. There were tons of players that were completely overvalued.
Lad up to ADP.
Lad, stay away from Lad. But then at the end of the day, I'm not here to judge those players and act like there isn't a line in the sand. I'm all about getting Henry at a new cost of entry right now. I'm all about maybe looking at Saquon Barkley. I might have a video tomorrow. I'm still deciding. But Saquon Barkley comes with a tremendous amount of injury risk, given he had 430-plus carries last year, 480-plus total touches. He hasn't done much at all. He's one of the lowest yard per carry running backs in the league right now. And it's concerning. It's concerning. And the Eagles are not using him properly. But I think now that everyone's freaking out, the cost of entry on Barkley is literally not a zero risk proposition, but it's not a lose your league risk that you're taking. If you go get Barkley for Jacobs and he gets injured, yeah, that's going to suck. But I highly doubt he stays healthy and underperforms behind Jacobs so far that you lose your league because of it. So it will come down to injury. But if you buy him at a price that, I don't know, like if you could do some creative 2-for-2, like maybe you get Harvey and Saquon and you trade them, Jacobs and let's call it,
Waddle.
or even like a little lesser than that. DeMarcado, whatever the case may be, but you're able to get some sliver of, okay, if this goes awry, the player I'm getting has some upside. Or let's say you get J-Mo, you give them QJ. And you're like, okay, you give him QJ, Quentin Johnston, and then you get J-Mo, who everyone's down on, and then all of a sudden Barkley gets injured, and now you've got J-Mo versus QJ and Jacobs. J-Mo could kind of hold his own if he goes and does what people think he was going to do. And I said, do not draft him high. But now I'm saying trade for him. That's the way this works. It's buy low, sell high, baby. And J-Mo's a great value now that people are panicking on what they shouldn't have done in the first place. I love buying J-Mo. But I think Barkley's a good gamble. Not in every league. Let me put it that way. If let's say Barkley could be had at third round value right now, I'd take him in an instant in 1 or 2 leagues. I don't know that I put all my eggs in that basket at all, but I would certainly race to go get him at that value in at least maybe 10% of leagues and take that chance. Yeah, J-Mo's a steal. Wild that people are running away from the J-Mo right now so quickly. I mean, people are running away from so many players so quickly. 3 keepers. Amon-Ra, Buka, Garrett Wilson, Pickens, Debo, Ayo, Bucky, JT, Mason, Woody Marks, Harvey, Chase Brown, Baker, Love, Dart. Any moves? Man. I love the receivers. I think you have a surplus. I can't imagine you could start them all. So trading one of them with Mason or Woody or Chase Brown makes a lot of sense. And the guys we're talking about are worth a gamble in this situation. Henry, Barkley. That seems like the easiest thing in the world. Rice, Lamb. That's what I'm doing with this team. Now, you said 3-man keeper. I don't know that I care about. I think people look at keeper leagues and they overjudge the fact that you don't need to be able to keep everybody. You're keeping 3 players. You're going to have plenty of players to choose from. Sometimes people are like, oh, I don't want to acquire Barkley because it's a keeper league. You don't have to keep Barkley. Get Barkley to win the championship. You got plenty of options for keepers.
What's your feel on Baker right now? With obviously we like his talent and his production, but he has the biceps injury and a knee injury now that he's dealing with. Would you try to upgrade out of that and go to a different, like, or even like combine him with a running back and go get like a Drake May? Like, how do you feel about Drake May versus Baker right now? I think they're pretty even, but
I think it would be. Let me see if I can assign members to team. Did you do it, or did he already?
Let's see.
Maybe he went right into the spot.
I can make sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in.
Square, congratulations and welcome, Square. You selfless man.
Mashed potatoes.
I'm a selfless person. I'll send you that link tonight for the Patreon too, so you can get on there. I'll send it right after the show ends. That way you can jump right into the after party talk that we usually have right after a show, so we can get Square in there. What were we saying, Travis?
I was just on that last super chat there. Would you try to upgrade or make it even a lateral quarterback move out of Baker because of injury concern? And then I was just asking May versus Baker. What do you compare? Like, do you like that?
After last week, what's May ranking now in QBs? He was 7 before.
Yeah, got it right here.
Is he like 7 or 8 still?
No, he's 4.
He's 4? What's Baker?
Baker's 6.
Baker's still playing. Ooh. That's crazy that May is 4. Good for May, man.
And his schedule, after he's got a couple hard matchups, and then it's just green straight down the line.
Damn, he's been QB 17, QB 3, QB 7, QB 8.
Yeah.
And he's got Buffalo.
He's locked in top 10.
Man.
And people don't really see him as a locked in top 10 play yet. So that's what
I probably lean with what we're seeing. I guess I would lean toward May. I like Baker though, but I think maybe I'd lean toward May.
But that's what I'm just wondering. Could he take Baker and get a May and turn it into something better?
Maybe. Not a bad.
When you have a good team like that, you have to kind of think outside the box.
Man, that's impressive. That's something you don't really. You got to look at too to see it. You're like, wow. I guess. I know May's been playing great, but I was thinking like maybe he climbed to like QB 6 or 5. But man, 4. I'm not saying he stays there, but that's damn good. Even if I go to the Marsman League, that's 6 points per TD.
That's what I'm in.
He's 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't get too excited because Caleb's 5. From that Dallas game. Anybody who plays Dallas goes straight to the top 5. But we're early on. Yeah, Caleb's been. I mean, he's been so bad. In week 1 he was QB 9, but it was QB 1 in week 3 because of that Dallas game, and then he was back to QB 24.
And he's going to do that though. He's going to have good fantasy weeks.
Yeah,
where they come out the week and you go, he looked awful.
12 or 14, like without being too shocking. If he was QB 12, right. I would not be like, oh my god. I mean,
No.
you're talking about third and fourth quarter passing. You're talking about garbage touchdowns. You're talking about Dunze sitting there wide open in the end zone and prevent defense in the fourth quarter. And Caleb having no points in the first half and then having 2 or 3 touchdowns because they're thrown from behind. That's why I said Dunze is in the possible situation he could be in, because Dunze is never going to be game scripted out. He's always going to be I'd say Dunze is the most likely garbage touchdown player in fantasy from here on out for the rest of the season. Dunze is like guaranteed garbage work. Guaranteed. Let me answer the super chat real quick. Traded Henry, Ladd, and Waddle for Gibbs and 50 Fab. Good or bad? 0-4 team. Henry, Ladd, Waddle. I love it. I love it. Gibbs is a monster, bro. That's 100% a good trade. Consists of JD5, Gibbs, Judkins, Hendy, Dunze. Great team. Your team's fine. 0-4, love it. I actually like your 0-4. It's going to make it so much more fun to win this at 0-4. Your team's unbelievable. And Miller, do you have some trade ideas? Honestly, I would consider trading, like, you got to wait for Hendy to gain some value, but like Sutton and maybe BTJ, or I don't even think you can do much. You got Scary Terry. So like Scary Terry and Sutton, both of them for like 1 Adams or something like that, or a wide receiver that's kind of, people are sleeping on. I think Adams fits that bill very, very nicely. And that's why we were talking about these guys. And I don't think you could get a JSN. Like, it would be amazing if it'd be crazy. You'd have to have a set of cojones on you the size of Texas. But if you were to trade, let's say, Sutton and I'm trying to think of a way to get Rice. You got to wait 2 more weeks for him. But, bro, you get Rice back in here. If you said I could have this team and Rice, but I'd be 1-5 guaranteed versus you having a chance to get 2 wins by keeping everybody, I'd take the 1-5 with Rice and then just go straight off like a rocket ship.
Yeah, that team's loaded.
Yeah, and if you don't make any moves at all, like, so Sutton and BTJ, Sutton and Scary Terry for like 1 receiver, I'd try that the best of your ability. Just keep sending offers to get that 1 player in there. And if not, man, I mean, Rice would be it. I'd definitely trade 2 of them for Rice. I'd trade, especially because Terry's not back yet. So you'd be trading Sutton and Terry for Rice. And then you'd have BTJ still. And you could find somebody on AO Manor or somebody like that on waivers. And you'd be fine, bro. Your team would be unstoppable. It's a really, really good team, bro. JD5, Gibbs, Judkins, Hendy, Dunze. You'd be fine. You'd be fine, Cameron. I'm wild like that. Let me hit these 2 super chats real quick, Travis, then I'll right back to you. Hold on 1 second. Who could I get for Saquon plus Evans? I don't know that you're going to be able to get anything for Evans, that much. I mean, you throw Evans into the deal, maybe Saquon and Evans gets you Lamb and something, Rice and something would be crafty. 1 player, Henry and something, if you're trying to just mix it up. Judkins is the 1 player that you still can buy a little cheaper than you should get. And I'm going to write this down for a video. Judkins and Barkley, I might do something on those guys. But Judkins, even though we love Judkins and everybody thinks that he's not attainable in a trade because who's going to give him up? Out of him and Hampton's the one that balled out. Judkins did good, scored, but he didn't have that game that's going to make him untouchable yet. He's still attainable in trades. I see it all the time. That's why I know. So this will be a last call week for Judkins, because the moment he has 120 yards and 2 touchdowns, it's game over. You're not going to be able to get him. And right now you're getting him at value that feels like 70 yards or 80 yards and a strong shot at a touchdown. That's the value he has now. After this week, his value will be 110 and 1 to 2 touchdowns a game is the field and price people will have to pay. So that will be a Judkins and something for Saquon and Evans. But like a JMO or something crafty like that. And then last super chat, and then I'll go to Travis, then over to Rock Out. This one's from Ricky Turbo again. He says, this week start Herbo, or Fields at Dallas, Woody or BTJ. I go Woody until BTJ proves consistency, and I wouldn't feel bad if I got it wrong because Woody's going to get fed. His coach said I want to give him more work than he did last week when he exploded. And then, Herb's, they're struggling as a whole. I do like Herb, but I'm going Fields against Dallas. Dallas makes quarterbacks into QB1s. All right, go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, another thing with Judkins, like, people still not valuing him. It's because, either if they have, hadn't been watching the show all off season or more casual home league or something, he got drafted late because of the suspension looming, wondering if there's going to be a suspension. And then a lot of people picked him up even. So they're still looking at him like, oh, I just picked this guy up. He's still got to prove himself. One game doesn't, they look at him the same way they look at Woody right now. So he's not set in stone in their lineup yet.
Yeah. Rock out. What's up, my boy?
Nope.
Yo.
So what are you thinking about Harvey moving forward? I know you got a lot of his production off that touchdown.
Well, I mean, the crazy part is Denver hasn't had a 100-yard rusher since 2000 and what was it, 21 or 22, something like that. And so they had a 100-yard rusher, and so the JK had 100 yards, and RJ Harvey outscored him by, what was it, like 7 points or something, or 6 or 7 points. Harvey had 19.5 points, something like that.
17.5 or 18, I forgot.
I think he had 19 in one of my leagues, so it depends on your scoring. I had 19 point something, but that's look, garbage time or not, Harvey was used in a way that I think gained some confidence, and no matter what, they kept throwing him the ball. Rock out, can you mute yourself? Jeez. Yeah, I don't know what your phone's doing there. But Harvey's getting, they trust him. They're throwing the ball to him. They're giving him the receptions. They're giving him a lot of trusted work. And yeah, I mean, garbage time or not, if that game was close, I think he still would have been utilized in similar fashion. Maybe he wouldn't have got that touchdown, possibly. Maybe he would have. We don't know. I don't think we can just assume he's not going to be used going forward when they used him sporadically throughout the game. I just don't know. I don't think you can count on it. You just got to, it's something that we could have a step backwards before we get two or three more steps forward. We could have one step. We got to be prepared that we could have one step backwards before we get those two.
Yeah.
Anything else, Rockout? What else you got?
Yeah, I'm basically trying to figure out a trade for Achane, and basically these teams are weirdly constructed, so it's kind of hard to make a trade.
Yeah. Try to trade Achane away for what, 2 players?
Yeah, I'm trying to basically up my goals to upgrade my receiver and not take a huge downgrade at running back, but maybe a little bit of a downgrade.
What's the JMO owner have?
Let me check.
And if you can afford it, see if the Odunze owner can afford to lose with Odunze on his bench.
Oscar, thank you for the super chat. I'll handle that in 1 second, my boy. Appreciate you dropping. Got 2 Oscars. Oscar Boytellum and Oscar B at the same time. Back-to-back super chatters. All right. Travis, or Rock Out, what do you got here? Who's the JMO owner have at RB?
He got Hampton and CNC, but I think he likes Hampton too much.
Yeah. All right. What's the Odunze owner have, like Travis said?
I think he got Genty.
He probably isn't going to trade Genty right now. What does the Adams owner have?
One sec.
And let me read this one off real quick. Neighbors and Connor and traded Tyreek. How can I fix this team? Traded Tyreek for Judkins. Well, that's good, bro. That's fantastic. Lost Neighbors and Connor. Okay. So this team right here, JD5, QJ. I'm trading QJ. I love Rice. I keep Rice if I can. Jacobs, Judkins, Woody, Gainwell. I don't know. This is a tough squad, bro. You might have to wait until Jacobs has a really good game here. And as Travis said, and as we talked about before, his schedule is good and he's going to look good. So he's going to
just had one.
Yeah.
Just had a huge one.
Right. If you can get a value from him right now, do it. But if you have back-to-back games and you can get more, you can trade him later. But try. So like Judkins for Henry and something. Try that. Judkins and Quentin Johnson for Henry and something like Jamo or Adams or whatever. I would try. I'd start there, and if not, Quentin Johnston and Woody Marks. Maybe that gets you one player, Oscar. Try those baby steps there, bro, before you get too into the weeds on it and figure out what the next step would be. But I think that would be your first step. And this 3-1 team: Hurts, May, Amon-Ra, Devontae Smith, Debo, Achane, Chuba, Bill, Woody, Tyler Warren. Nice little squad you got here. And then who's C-Rod? A-Rod?
That's Rodriguez, I think.
Oh, Rodriguez. C-Rod. Chris Rodriguez. Bro, Chris Rodriguez doesn't deserve a nickname. Come on, man. We only got so many nicknames. What if another C-Rod comes out and you've got it already assigned to Chris Rodriguez? You know what I'm saying? That's where like some of you tried to name JJ McCarthy. It's like, bro, imagine if JJ got the nickname before Justin Jefferson came. Come on. Jettas deserves multiple nicknames too. But C-Rod. Any moves to make on this team? I'd probably say, yeah, Woody and Chuba for one player. Devontae Smith and Woody. Devontae Smith and Chuba. Woody and Debo. Try and maybe get one of those big guns that we're talking about that's worth the risk at this point. Devontae Smith and Woody or Chuba and Devontae Smith for a Henry or Barkley makes a ton of sense to me. And you could probably still get a Judkins for Devontae Smith and Chuba, potentially. You could probably get a Breece Hall for Devontae Smith and Woody or Devontae Smith and Chuba. Now, don't sell Woody short, though. Like, if you can't get something like that, Woody might be, good enough to just keep and ride the wave. Woody's a phenom, bro. He's a potential monster. One of those guys that, like, in 3 weeks is a household name and nobody's looking at him the same way. Wide receiver to get for BTJ and Terry. Rice isn't available. BTJ and Terry for Adunze, again on the bye, like Travis said. BTJ Terry for Adunze, for Garrett Wilson, for there's not a lot of players that fit this bill. JSN, there's not a lot that really makes sense for that. You could say Worthy, but I don't know. So it seems a little high. Igbuka keeps getting crapped on, bro. I have no idea why. And then this one here, hold on. Rock out. You got the answer to that?
Yeah, you got Bucky and Chase Brown.
Okay. So Achane for Bucky and Adams, and you throw something back. You could try that if you can wait. Although, you're not in a position to wait?
Wait, my next best running back is Harvey.
Yeah. You said
look at other receivers too. I'm not even saying on the phone, but when you get off, like, I don't know who you have, but the Nico owner, the Garrett Wilson owner, the Lamb owner, the Rice owner, all those guys.
So you tried for Henry in something?
Achane's elite.
Did you try?
I already got Henry. I got Henry.
Did you try for Saquon in something?
Let me see what Saquon got. Hold on one sec.
Could also go after. You have Hendy. Could also go after Hendy and then make this wide receiver a lot bigger and stronger. You know, like this would have to be like a JSN or higher. Nico or.
That just reminded me, just real quick while he's looking at that. This obviously isn't about the trades, but you were talking about JCM last night and how it could take some time. I think they're like, without saying it, edging closer and closer to that. Because he played more pass protection snaps than Rodriguez and McNichols combined last game. So that means they're starting to trust him more in the situations that you need to be trusted in to get on the field.
Yeah, we'll see. I definitely wouldn't give up on it yet. All right, last one, rock out, and then I got to run.
Yeah, Saquon, he got DK and Marvin Harrison.
So would he do either one of those receivers with Saquon? Try that.
I don't know. I can ask.
Yeah, I mean, I'd try that. I definitely, you said Marvin, and who was the other one? DK? I'd definitely take DK and Barkley for Achane. If I'm in your spot and I can't win with Achane, I've been ravaged with injuries. That's a great trade.
Yeah, I got Evans on IR right now.
Yeah, it's a great trade. All right, appreciate you. Rock out.
I appreciate it.
Later, bro.
Cool.
All right, Travis, anything else from you? Before I don't mind you, and then I gotta grab these supers.
Do you want to do the super chats first, or do you just want me to?
Let me see how fast I can get through them. Not actively looking to trade with, but what's the correct asking price for Ibuka? Someone offered me JK plus G Wilson. JK doesn't do it for me. I think it's an okay offer, but I want more than that. I would say, like, if someone offered me Garrett Wilson and Hendy, that's something I could see myself, saying, well, damn, I got to think about that hardcore now, because I wouldn't trade Ibuka for Garrett Wilson. So this piece has to be something special to me. I have to look at it and say, oh, I can, damn, I have to be like a Bowers for my like well playing Goddard or something, and I'm like, oh, okay, this guy wants to buy Goddard or a Hunter Henry or something like that, and I'm like, you could give me Bowers, because Bowers is so discounted right now. So something like that. But yeah, thesis will have to be a significant piece that I think could be league winning. If the player I'm getting back is not league winning, meaning if it's Keenan Allen, that's not league winning. If it's BTJ, that could be league winning. Would you trade Hampton, Buka for Lamb and T-Mac? I would not, because I think Buka and Lamb are really close. Hampton and T-Mac are not. Have JD5, yeah. Appreciate you. Not even close, bro. Not even close at all. This one, Tyler, let me get to yours in a second here. Appreciate you dropping that. This is from Mike. $10 hauler. Wide receiver. My backs are Genty and Bucky. With JD5, have Addison, Ridley, and Judy. So not strong receivers at all. Was thinking of sending Bucky for Pickens and RJ Harvey. That's not a good idea. I like Pickens, but no, bro. You're selling Bucky's out 1 to 2 games, and you're just getting rid of them for, I don't want to say ham sandwich territory. What?
Harvey's price isn't there yet. Like, just because I know you've been talking a lot about Harvey, but people have to understand that, like, we want to get him, but not at that price yet.
Yeah, he's not there yet. You gotta pay what he's valued at. So I would say, like, for me to do something like this, it would be Bucky for like Breece Hall and BTJ or something, and then it's like, okay, maybe, or Woody Marks and Nico Collins, or JSN and Hendy and Harvey, or something like that. I don't know. Like, it would take something significant. It would take somebody that I feel like is not that far off from Bucky, so like JSN, and then that extra piece, or even 2 pieces. It'd be Tyler Warren and JSN for my Bucky, or even if I was trading for Henry, I want Henry and JMO or something for an injured Bucky. If Bucky wasn't injured, I'd need Henry and BTJ or Henry and JSN or Henry and Adams. But because Bucky's injured, I would take Henry to get the immediate points, but I want JMO or something significant like that. So appreciate you. Need backs. Genty Bucky with JD5. Thinking of sending. Yeah. So Mike, that's my answer. Appreciate you, Mike. Hopefully that helps you, pal. And got offered a Dunze, Henderson, Pacheco, Coleman for Kyron, Quentin, Johnston. A Dunze, Henderson, Pacheco. I would take a Dunze, Henderson, Pacheco because honestly, I get you all. A lot of you believe in Quentin Johnston, but I don't think he's going to be what he's valued at now at the end of the year. So Dunze and Kyron are pretty damn even, and I like Henderson long-term over Quentin Johnston. So I lean toward the Dunze side. I like Coleman, Pacheco, need Judkins, or give Monty instead of Kyron. I would definitely... I'd rather give Monty... I'm not giving Judkins. I'd much rather give Monty instead of Kyron. And I'd even give a little bit more if I needed to. So like Monty, Quentin Johnston, and like another player. But I don't think they're going to do that. And then Devontae Smith and Chuba for JSN. Yeah, I take JSN. That's pretty easy. Wide receiver to get for BTJ Terry. I think I already answered that one. Thank you for that, pal. Appreciate you. And then Tyler, super chat. And I think I'm caught up after that. Bowers, owner, is desperate in my league and needs wide receivers. He said he'd take 2 of my wide receivers for him. Nico, MHJ, Terry, Waddle, Worthy. Well, this is like saying Nico's, a $100 bill. And MHJ's a $30 bill. Scary Terry's a $25 bill. And Waddle is maybe he's like $28 to $32. And then actually, let me remake this a $300 bill for Nico. Okay, so he's willing to take 2 of these, a $28 to $32 bill, a $25 bill, or a $30 bill, or a $300 bill. So he'll take any 2 of them. Do we give him Nico? The answer is no, we don't. So let's leave Nico out. So give him whatever he wants. This is the difference between this is it doesn't matter. So let him choose. You just say, well, I'm not giving you Nico, but I will give you whichever 2 wide receivers you want for Bowers to make it happen. And Worthy's a $50 bill, or maybe $50 to $60 bill, and I don't want to give him up either. So sorry I didn't say that. So we'll take Worthy out. I don't want to give him that. I'd give him his choice of any 2 of these guys. Waddle, MHJ is probably the most attractive thing because Terry's not playing. But I definitely would do that. But I'm not giving up Worthy. Even Worthy and Terry might be too much. Worthy and Waddle might be too much because Bowers is still injured. He's still wearing a brace, and we don't know how it's going to change. And I do like buying him low, but you have to buy him low. Worthy right now, you can make an argument that Worthy and him are very close in value because Worthy exploded and had a great game, and I don't know why that would change. He really looked fantastic. And he looked overutilized. It was insane. It was great. It was like Mahomes. It was like Mahomes was finally given a weapon, and you just saw the play was so different. Mahomes played so well. All right, Travis, what else you got?
Just in terms of receivers versus AJ Brown right now, still looking over the trades. And forgive me if you've said some of these. Jamar Chase or AJ Brown? You're taking a chance on Chase still.
Yeah.
But that might be a possibility. What about Waddle? Because he's going to get more volume.
Jamar Chase over.
I'm not the biggest Waddle guy. No, AJ Brown.
Oh.
Waddle
or AJ Brown? I'd probably say Waddle.
I was kind of thinking that. What about with Lamar, Zay Flowers? How do you look at him now?
Or Waddle?
No, all these against AJB.
Oh, okay, sorry. Flowers or AJB. I would say once Lamar's back, Flowers. And while he's not back, they probably both score the same and disappoint. But the only thing that would make me say AJB here is if I think I can flip him. And right now I can't. I mean, off a big game, he was very flippable. Now it's really hard to trade him. Even if he has a big game, people will be like, yeah, but we've seen this already twice. So, but I think Flowers is still a good option. And I think when Lamar comes back, he's going to be a little timid to run. So they will throw a lot to Flowers.
Boy. I don't know if you saw it. I saw a thing where they were showing all AJB's targets last week. And I mean, it's awful how bad Hurts is missing.
Hurts is a horrible
Even when he's
passer.
Open. Like the amount Hurts is requested as a passer is scary.
Yeah, he's not even a good passer anymore. He's a mediocre passing quarterback.
I mean, like people talk about like Milton and Milrow, like they suck, they need work. Like I genuinely think they're probably as good of a passer as Milton's a better passer.
Milton's got
Milrow could step in that system and potentially do what Hurts is doing right now.
Yeah, Milton's arm is 10 times better than Hurts' arm.
Right.
Doesn't mean he knows how to read defenses yet, but it doesn't. I mean, either did Mahomes, And every time Milton has stepped on the field and thrown an interception, people rip on him. He's playing without Pickens. He's playing without Lamb.
Exactly.
So people can make fun of him all he wants. He's playing with backups that aren't running the right routes. You don't even know if he's throwing to like Penix Jr. in the national championship game when he threw that ball in a Doomsday cut the wrong way. And everybody that's uneducated about football was like, oh my God, Penix just threw it over his head. And they didn't understand. Look, Milton could be thrown to spots in the field, and these wide receivers that are not the starters are running the wrong routes, and everyone's like, Milton sucks. You say whatever you want. Milton also throws such a hard football that sometimes it gets tipped. You need some more skilled players out there to put their mitts on the football, because if it slips through fingertips and goes up into the air, it's like this is going to be a pick. Milton's got I would say Milton's got either the strongest arm in the National Football League, or it's guaranteed in my mind to be top 3. I don't think there's a quarterback that has the harder cannon. There's nobody that throws the football harder than Joe Milton. There's no one that has a cannon on their shoulder that can launch a football downfield. This guy can throw further than anybody in the league. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Josh Allen. Because Josh Allen, I said, would be a top 1 to 5, not top 5. I said on NBC Sports Radio back when Josh Allen had not thrown a pass in the league. I said he will be a top 1 to 5 quarterback in the league within 2 calendar years. And he came out of his rookie year, I looked like a fool because everyone said the guy can only run. He can't throw the ball. He's AR5 essentially, in hindsight. Can only run the ball, can't throw. His mechanics were bad. Then he got fixed. And he was able to throw the ball better. His mechanics got better. Now he's just such a all-around great quarterback. Milton reminds me so much of Josh Allen. Everyone's going to say he can't fix this, he can't fix that. They've watched him throw a couple picks and they decide he's bad. Josh Allen, if you would have judged Josh Allen's throwing accuracy and capability off of his rookie year when he still ran really well, you were casually predicting something to happen with Josh Allen that never did. He became a stud.
Yeah, and I think Milton's in the right place that way. He's going to get a chance in the next couple of years, like we've talked about.
Absolutely.
Forward to it. Real quick, and I'll jump off the line. Last couple names, MHJ, obvious, and JMO, obviously, would you take over AJB right now.
JMO, I would. I think JMO, as I have him on here as a buy low, I take JMO over AJB. MHJ, I probably would take over AJB as well, yes.
Yeah, I get he's more of a dice roll, because last week was awesome in the last quarter, but will they keep it up? Then what about Lad? I mean, is his value not there right now?
So, yeah, that's going to be like buying Lad at AJB pricing is a mistake because Lad's worth so much less. So if you're telling me, hey, Smitty, in weeks, get out your crystal ball, in weeks 9 through 17, who has more fantasy points in this time frame only, AJB or Lad? I'm going to say Lad. That doesn't mean I trade for him, doesn't mean I'm crafty about how I pick up Lad. But Lad is not doing well. Some of it's unexplainable, right? But I do know the skills are there. I know what I saw. I didn't want him to be drafted by anybody because his value was way too high. Now I see nothing but upside for him. There's zero risk. And anybody that says Lad is bad, he's the wide receiver 3, he's trash, that's casual. That's a casual take. We know what Lad can do. We've seen it. It's just, for whatever reason, it's going to take a while to get back into the place it needs to be. And remember, the rapport between Herbert and Lad is very good. It's just off right now. Yeah. And Quentin Johnston, if you believe Quentin Johnston is going to continue, then Lad might not. But if you believe, like me, that Quentin Johnston is probably way overplaying, he's definitely not going to be this level of a player all year long, then Lad will return. So that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, there's one team in the league where I'm trying to get rid of AJB. The guy's 1-3. I'm 0-4 in that league. So, but 1-3, he's kind of panicking. He has Waddle, he has Lad, he has Jamar Chase, he has Mike Evans. So I was trying to, think of a way I could do something. I don't know if he'll take Chuba now that he got the injury, but I was thinking like AJB and Chuba would AJB and Chuba for Chase straight up, like alone, would you do that?
For who? AJB and Chuba for who?
Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'd probably take Chase, but I think it's very doable at this current moment in time, no doubt. But I'm not sure how much I feel about that.
Okay. The other, he has Kobe Myers, Lad, Waddle, and Chase. So I'm trying to get out of AJB and try to find, someone who can produce for me right now.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Travis. Later.
Bye.
All right. Let's get to these super chats here. Appreciate you guys dropping them. Guy wants my Bucky, his proposal. Bucky, JMO, Williams for Henry, Judy, Caleb. Okay. His proposal is Bucky, JMO for Henry. Okay, man. I don't like, I mean, look, I love Bucky and JMO. I'm not doing this trade. I would trade Bucky for Henry and a JMO, and do it straight up like that versus me giving JMO on top of Bucky. No, thank you. Patty, Nix, Achan, Genty, Kamara, Ollie, JSM, Buka, Keenan, Worthy, Hunter, Kelsey, Kraft. Best package for Rice. I like your squad. It's a good squad. JSM, Buka is fantastic. Worthy's playing out of his mind. He's your starter over Keenan, by the way. So swap these out. Don't put Keenan there. Keenan in a trade maybe with Kamara. Keenan and Kamara. Kraft and Kamara. I'd trade Worthy and Kamara for one JJ Monster, something like that, Henry, Barkley, etc. But I'd probably try and trade Keenan Allen and Kamara for a Dunze who's on a bye. Like Travis said, maybe the person's freaking out. For Adams, for Garrett Wilson. I think you pull off a trade like that, your team probably goes to 8.0, which I rarely give 8, so that would be good if you pull off a trade like that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. I'll see you all tomorrow. I should have a video in the morning, so I'm trying to drop one every single morning at 4 a.m. Pacific. That's 7 a.m. Eastern. So see you all. Appreciate you. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you very much. Don't forget to get on over to the Patreon. That link is right here. The Patreon link is right here. I'll go straight over there. I'm going to send that link to you, my guy. Appreciate my boy joining the league and dropping that $100 super chat tonight. Selfless man. It was Square. I'll send you that link to the Patreon in just a minute, so hang tight. But Patreon, $10 a month, cancel anytime. That link is in the live chat right here. I'm going to pin it right here. Join the Patreon. Be a part of the 24/7 chat group. So $10 a month, cancel anytime. Link dropped in the live chat. Link is in the description of this video and every video. It's patreon.com/thefantasyfootballshow. So very easy. And don't forget to get on over $5. Play $5. Get $100 by clicking this link. And don't forget to draft with us next time on Underdog. Here's that link right here to play on Underdog. Again, hit this link. The link's in my description. Code Smitty gets it done as well. And then we had one more super chat right here on the way out the door from KP. KP says, any 2-for-1 trades, you're 1-3. How about you trade Addison and Mason for one player, bro? Adams, Garrett Wilson, Judkins, throw in Pearsall, Mason and Worthy for Judkins or someone of that caliber, Henry. I think Mason and Worthy may be too much for like Adams unless you're doing a 2-for-2, but I think Mason and Worthy for Henry or Saquon or Garrett Wilson or Igbuka or JSN makes sense to me. And I would potentially give up Mason to upgrade Danny Dimes. I would potentially give up, get CD on IR. I would trade McBride for Tyler Warren to upgrade Mason or Worthy in a deal. KP, try that. Go to that owner. I like McBride, but I'm just not sure what he's going to do comparatively to Tyler Warren. I think Tyler Warren could be just as good. All right, see you guys all tomorrow. I should have a video in the morning, but no matter what, I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. I'm live whenever big news breaks, and I'm also live at midnight Eastern almost every single night. See you guys all on the Patreon right now. Appreciate you.